Hello students, this is Miss Dalton and today's video is over step functions. Okay, a step function is a special type of piecewise function. It's called a step function for a particular reason. When you graph it, it looks like steps. And so in this example, we have, we're talking about hurricanes, okay? And so we have the wind speed during a hurricane, and it's broken down by category. So a category 1 hurricane has a wind speed of 74 miles per hour all the way up to 95 miles per hour. Category 2 has a 96 mile per hour to 110 miles per hour, and so on. And so what we want to do on this one is they want us to make a scatter plot of the category wind speed versus hurricanes category. So we're going to do that on this graph. Now you have to think about what this is going to look like. So at category 1, so here's category 1 on that left side or on the y-axis. Category 1 is from 74 to 95. So what that means is, okay, I can go ahead and put a solid point on 74. So let's do that. So I'm going to put it at approximately 74. Okay, and it goes all the way up to 95. So at the end, 95 miles per hour is still considered a category 1. So we want to make sure that we put a solid point on 95. So pretend like that's right at 95. Now, it's everything in between there as well. So what you're also going to do is you're going to draw a solid line between those 2 points. Okay, now, when the wind speed picks up to 96, well, that's now going to be a category 2. So now I'm going to take a solid point and put it on approximately 96. Okay, and then to 110, I'll have another solid point. Whoops, go back and try that again. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and draw the line between those. And then move on to category 3. Category 3 is from 111 up to 130. So grab my solid point, go to 111. So it's going to be a little bit more than 110. And then let me go ahead and let's grab another point and we'll put that in 130. Again, category 3 is everything in between those 2 dots. So want to connect them as well. And then category 4 is 131 to 155. Connect the dots. And then 156 and above. So let's grab this dot and put it on 156. And because it's everything above that, then when you draw this last line, you want to make sure that it has an arrow on the end, because it's going to be everything higher than that. Okay, so you can see why it's called a step function, because it again looks like steps. Now you're not going to fill in the inside, so like I don't want to go ahead and connect those right there. That's not what you want to do, so don't do that. They need to be horizontal steps with nothing in between, because again, that's not like, realistically, can we have like a 95.5 miles per hour wind? Yes, but in that, because they have these categories going by whole numbers, then we're going to keep it that way. All right, so on this next screen, it says revise the Saffir-Simpson scale so that you can rate hurricanes with wind speeds that lie between the existing categories. So that's like what I was just saying. If we have a 95.5 mile per hour hurricane, we want to be able to still rate that. So instead, now what we're going to do is, let's look at this like this. Let's say it goes from 74 to 95. But then it's everything above 95. So let's say, greater than 95, but less than 110. So let's say we've got some value that's between these two numbers. Okay, this is how we're going to write this. So let's put this down here. So now category 1 is going to just be, 74. Let's go ahead and use the variable x. So between 74 and 95. Now, because this is our first category, if it's 74 miles an hour, if it's equal to that, it's going to be in category 1. If it's equal to 95 miles an hour, it's going to be in category 1. But to be able to take into consideration 95.5 or anything between 95 and 96, what we're going to do in this next category is we're going to say, okay, it can be anything greater than 95, but not equal to. Because if it's equal to 95, we want it to still be part of category 1. But if it's 95.1, 0.2, 0.3, then that's going to fall into category 2. So you don't want to put the equal to symbol there under the inequality, because 95 is part of category 1. But we are going to put the equal to symbol on the end of it, 110. Now the big thing about step functions is when you're writing these out, you just need to, it's kind of like a jump, right? You start with equal to, but then you go no equal to, equal to. For the next category, I'm going to put 110, but not equal to, just x is greater than 110, but it could be less than or equal to 130. Okay, and then 130, just the less than symbol, x, and then you can put less than or equal to on the other side of that, 155. And then last but not least, it's 156 and above. Now what we could do is we could say it's all the x values that are greater than 155, right? Because we want to be able to include 155.1, and that would fall in this category right here. Okay, so pay attention to the less than or equal to symbols, right? All of these should match. The first two should always be less than or equal to. There might be some situation where you wouldn't have that, but 9 times out of 10 they will. And then these on this side are always just less than. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're writing them out. All right, here's another one that they want us to graph. It says for orders shipped to Europe, the shipping cost for the United States is doubled. Fill in the table to show the shipping cost to Europe. Then use a different colored pencil to make a graph of the shipping cost to Europe versus the order total. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill out the table, and then I'm going to let you pause the video and go ahead and start filling yours out on your side. So it says that the shipping costs are doubled. And so for Europe, we're just going to double that shipping cost. So when it's less than $25, then we're going to have double the $5 shipping, so it's now going to be $10. And 25 to $74.99, well, that's going to be double 10, so that's going to be $20. So on and so forth. Then we'll have $30. Then we'll have $40. Then we'll have $50. Okay, now they want us to graph it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to graph what is the, for the continental United States. So for that, I'm going to use green. So anything less than $25 is going to cost me $5 to ship it. So less than 25, that means that I need to have an open circle on 25, and then it's anything less than that. Now, obviously, if I don't buy anything, I'm not going to have a shipping cost. So what you might want to do is you might want to put an open circle here, but put a solid circle at 0, because if you have an order total of 0, you're not paying any shipping costs. Okay, then from $25 to $74.99. Okay, so from $25, so that's going to be a solid point at $10. It's solid because if I spend $25, I know that I'm going to pay that $10. So that's a solid point. And it's going to go all the way up to $74.99. Well, I'm not going to get very close to $74.99. So let's put an open point at 75. And basically what that means is it's everything all the way up and almost to 75. So that very last point before 75 is going to be that $74.99. So if I use an open circle, 75 is not included, but everything up to that is. And I'm going to follow the same pattern. So then from 75, it's $15 up to $124.99. So I'm going to have an open circle. Sorry about my clock, y'all. Sorry about that. Let's keep going. All right, so let's see, where was I? We just finished the $15, so now 20. 125 going to be a solid point up to $349.99. It's way down here, almost $350. So we're going to have an open circle and then fill all that in. Be nice if I could draw a straight line. And then $350 or greater, so that's going to be a solid point, and then greater than, so that we're going to make that an arrow because it's going to be everything in there. Okay, now when I graph the next one, you go ahead and graph the next one for Europe. Go ahead and graph the Europe table following that same strategy that I just showed you. Go ahead and press play when you're ready to check your work. All right, go ahead and check your work. Sorry, guys, it's so hard to draw a straight line on this iPad. But that's what you should have graphed, so hopefully you got that. If not, let me know what questions you have. All right, that's it for today. So come to class ready to work on some practice problems.